What are the odds? Not metaphorically, literally. What are the actual, measurable, number-crunching odds that you would ever come to exist? Let's break it down. First, your parents. The probability of them being in the same place at the same time? 1 in 20,000. That's already wildly unlikely. A concert, a grocery store aisle, a mutual friend's awkward house party. Any number of invisible paths crossing at just the right point on the map. But they didn't just pass by, they spoke. That's another layer. 1 in 10 chance that two strangers even talk. How many people do we pass by every day and say nothing? But they did. A glance, a smile, a spark of fate, coincidence. Who knows? But it happened. Then the odds they went on a second date, that the conversation wasn't just small talk, that there was enough there to want more. 1 in 100. 1 in 100 first meetings leads to something more, and even fewer grow into commitment. Yet they stayed. Through the doubts, the distance, the messiness of being human, and the odds they stayed long enough to start a family. That's a coin flip. 1 in 2. So let's stack that math. 20,000 by 10 by 100 by 2. 1 in 40 million. Let that number settle into your bones. 1 in 40 million. That's the chance the stars even aligned enough for the possibility of you. But that's just Act 1. Let's dive deeper. The moment of your conception, there were roughly 400 quadrillion sperm racing toward the same egg. Each one carried a slightly different version of you. Different eyes, a different voice, different everything. But only one made it. You. That's 1 in 400 trillion. 1 in 400 quadrillion. Multiply that by the 1 in 40 million just to get your parents together, and we're already at 1 in 16 octillion. That's a 16 followed by 27 zeros. It's a number that doesn't even feel real. And still, that's just the tip of this cosmic iceberg, because your parents had parents, and they had theirs, and so on all the way back. Back through history, back through plagues, invasions, migrations, back through frozen winters and burning summers, through empires falling and civilizations rising. Each of your ancestors had to live long enough to reproduce, to meet the right person, to have a child, to pass life forward, break that chain once, and you're gone. Never born, never thought of, never imagined. According to mathematician Alevin Nasir, the probability of your entire ancestral line staying unbroken for tens of thousands of years, 1 in 10 to the power of 45,000. That's a 10, followed by 45,000 zeros, and try to write that out. You'll run out of ink before you get halfway. The number is larger than all the atoms in the universe. But wait, we're still not done. Because every single ancestor of yours, from the first upright hominid to your great-grandparents, was the result of a fertilization event. 1 sperm, 1 egg, every time. Each one of those moments was its own lottery, its own miracle, and its own astronomical gamble. So what are the odds of that entire reproductive chain never breaking for hundreds of thousands of years? 1 in 10 to the power of 2,640,000. That number is impossible to visualize. So let's try anyway. Imagine the universe, every star, every planet, every grain of sand on every beach, on every world you'll never see. Now imagine writing a 0 on each particle in that universe. And you still wouldn't have enough zeros if that's the scale we're talking about. And yet, here you are, reading this, alive, breathing, beating, feeling, against all logic and against all odds. You happened. If we combine everything, your parents' meeting, your conception, your unbroken lineage, every cosmic dice roll, you get 1 in 10 to the power of 2,685,000. Let's visualize that. Imagine 2 million people, all standing in a field, each one holding a trillion-sided die. They roll it, and every single one of them lands on the exact same 12-digit number, simultaneously, perfectly, no errors. That's you. You are that impossible result. You are the thing that shouldn't be, and yet is. So what does that mean? It means you are a miracle, not in the fluffy, feel-good, Instagram quote kind of way. In the mathematical, cold, undeniable way. You are the ultimate glitch in probability, the exception to the rule, the one that beat the game nobody knew they were playing. You were never meant to exist. And yet, you do. So now we ask, what do you do with that? What do you do when you realize that every cell in your body is the product of an impossible chain reaction, stretching back through the dawn of time? Do you waste it? Do you sit idle, scrolling, comparing, regretting? Do you let anxiety or anger steal this impossible gift? Or do you live? Really live? Do you make something with it? Right, building love, help, heal, try, fail. Try again. Not because you're supposed to, but because you get to. Because existence isn't owed to anyone. It's a gift you've already unwrapped. No one else will ever be you again. No one will feel exactly what you feel. Cry the way you cry. Laugh at the same weird jokes. See beauty in the same strange shadows. Dream the dreams that you do. You are a singularity, a once ever. So write your story, even if your voice shakes. Especially if your voice shakes. Be kind in a world that taught you to harden. Be soft in a time that praises sharpness. Be art, be contradiction. Be alive. Because the universe spent billions of years trying to make you. And it finally succeeded. So don't just survive, explode. Live like the miracle you are. Because the odds said you wouldn't be here. And yet, here you are.